that being said, Trap Talk listeners, if you love everything about Trap Talk, please subscribe to our page. Also, throw some likes on the videos that you enjoy. It really means the world to us.
Yeah, comment on each episode. We read them. We respond to them. With that, let's get to the show.
Welcome to Season 2 of Trap Talk.
Brought to you by Krieghoff.
Welcome to another episode of Trap Talk. I'm your host, Zach Nannini, and we are live in Tucson Trap and Skeet at the Spring Grand in 2024. I've got my wonderful co-host, Richard Marshall Jr., the
What's
one
up?
and only, and our good friend, Ryan Costanti from Shotguns West. So
How you guys doing?
We're
good. I mean, just trying to shoot a little chilly today. That's why I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Just put it on, though.
We got rained on today.
Well, we really didn't rain on much. We kind of skated.
Little last box
Our last
rain.
trap was a little rough, but
I got rained on.
it is what it is.
I'm really glad I didn't have to shoot out there. It was nasty. I was
Typical
looking through the
executive.
window and it was nice.
So, to let the people know who you are, Rick, give them a little introduction.
Well, Ryan, you're the Western Zone Vice President.
That's right,
Of
Western
the
Zone
ATA.
VP.
This is your first year on, is that right?
Correct. First
So,
year on the EC. Yes.
On the EC. Now, where's home base?
Well, are you with the government?
No. So Oregon,
it'll be
Alaska,
on the internet.
hey,
For the world to
Oregon,
see.
Alaska, and Arizona.
Public
So-
record.
So we spend most of our time. We've got our biggest store is here at Tucson
Yeah.
Trap and Skeet, and then we have a store that Grayson Stewart runs in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
And then we've got a store in Medford, Oregon. And then we have a fourth store in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay.
And then we have a mobile showroom that we cover most of the Western United States with. And then we go back to Sparta for the Grand American.
Grand American stuff.
And then we do some stuff with SCTP and the youth shooting. So we'll go back to the SCTP Nationals at the Cardinals.
At the Cardinal Center.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but you've been involved in shooting what?
Man.
15, 20 years?
Yeah, I mean, as of late, I mean, I really started shooting about 12 years ago or so, but I shot in high school a little bit.
Yeah,
Not a lot. I shot a little bit of PITA on the West Coast, but I didn't get introduced to the ATA until 2014, and that's when I really started shooting.
Started to shoot. Now, with
So
that,
that's only about 10 years, I guess.
yeah. So, but you're involved, you do guiding stuff in Alaska, correct?
That's right, yeah.
So, for all
guide-
listeners out there, if you need to, book a hunt or
I don't know if I'm ready
fish.
for a bear to chase me in Alaska.
Oh,
yet.
well, listen, Zach and I are going to go bear hunting. The only thing I got to outrun is him.
That's right.
I don't think
And
I'm.
he's got a bad Achilles. Trust me, I can outrun him.
I don't know. I feel good about
I
this.
know you'd be down. He'd be tripping over logs.
I got
Guess what? The
distance.
logs are even bigger than me.
You only have to outrun the slowest guy. That's
I've seen Zach live along.
Or we got to have that 500 Smith & Wesson to dog them down on that pistol.
I tell you what, that's what I carry as a backup every day.
So Ryan is also, for the show, he's our Pilla sponsor.
That's right.
So we really appreciate that. And we are doing the live podcast tomorrow night.
Yep.
Where Ryan's gracious enough, he's giving us the Pillas to give away. We got shot tracker. We got some swag. We got some Wenig stuff.
By the time you listen to this, we'll have already given that stuff away. So-
Exactly.
But it's tomorrow night in the wonderful world of television and radio. but
Well, you never know. We might know.
No.
Yeah. So Ryan's, he's involved now because you were delegate. Okay.
Correct, yep.
So now, are you still delegate then of Oregon?
Yeah, so the way it works, technically you have to continue to be delegate at least until you're elected Western Zone or Zone
1 year.
Zone
right?
VP.
Through your first year.
2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
Yeah, and then you could elect another delegate, or you could just continue to be delegate, which that's what most people do. But we'll just see. I mean, I'm not there yet.
So
Yeah.
I want to circle back a second. So I know you said delegate, but like if someone's looking to get in and help with the ATA, where do they even start? Like what's the first place they go?
Man, I mean, the best thing to do is get in touch with your local, whatever state you're in, just your executive committee in the state, your president, vice president, delegate's a good place to start.
State association.
Your state association, all those guys, and see where their deficiencies are, where they would like some help, what they need. AIM programs always need help, and that's what in my mind, is the place that every state needs to start. And you get those kids shooting young. It doesn't matter if they go to work for 20 years.
They come back.
They come back. That's
They
right.
come back, and I'm seeing that because there's more and more people that are around my age that are sprinkling back into the game a little bit.
Yep.
Now that they've got a little bit of money in their pocket, right?
That's
It
right.
takes a minute, but you just, unfortunately, you just don't walk around with enough money in your pocket when you turn 21 and you're like, I'm going to go to Tucson for a week, right? Like it's a little cost prohibitive sometimes, and I think you need that time to get some experience under your belt, get some money, and then come back at
That's
some
right.
level, build the family or whatever.
That's right. At some point, mom and dad are going to cut off the funds that are putting you out there. But the key for us is to make sure that the ATA, we give them a good experience when they're young, they have fun, and they remember, God,
The
dang,
fun they had.
I've got that extra cash now.
Yeah.
I want to go shoot, and then get their kids into it, and then it's a revolving door.
Well,
it grows the sport.
Here's a prime example. One of our sponsors, and I'll talk about it just for a minute, is Outlaw Engineering. R2, Randy Freston II. His father, Randy Freston, was president of the ATA from Utah. Okay, years ago. I knew him growing up. Shot. He stepped away. He's got a family now.
He was an ATA president too, wasn't he?
His dad was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Back in the 80s. I think it was the 80s. And from Salt Lake City, or Spanish Fork area, actually. And so he's here today shooting. Just talked to him. One of those deals. He's got a successful business. Yeah. And he's
I gotta meet
back
him.
in shooting. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the one thing is when we talk about kids going off and you start a career or start a family, it is an expensive sport. But hey, there is ways to get back in, especially with kids now with the AIM program and all this wonderful stuff versus when I was youth. Now, Zach went through a little bit of that, but he's
They
also...
didn't really have it when
They
I
had
started.
a
Very
little
little
bit.
stuff, but I remember SCTP. It wasn't even AIM then, and it was
But-
kind of, they broke off and they did.
Back then, we had there was a lot of schools that had clubs and stuff, but you were homeschooled.
I didn't
Yeah.
go to school, so that's
No,
hard.
he was.
I was number one in my class.
Well, folks, you heard it here first.
There you go, right there.
The way to be number one in your class is be the only one in your class. You know what? That is the typical Zach Nannini saying.
I got
there.
stuff, baby.
He got moves.
All right, folks, we got to take a quick second and give a huge shout out to our title sponsor, Krieghoff. Me and Ricky both shoot him. We both love him.
Yeah, best gun in the industry. I shoot them, I sell them. Nothing better, folks. Get yourself a Krieghoff, your scores will increase.
Yeah, Ricky's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds with his. I've got a few hundreds, but I'm always working to get a little bit better, and they definitely help me, that's for sure. So on top of that, we also got to thank Wenig. I'm wearing the shirt today. Love this shirt. If you're down at the Grand, pick one up.
Yeah, Wenig, like I said, Zach, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds with my Wenig stock. Get a hold of Bobby, Luke, Bill, get an appointment set up. They will make you a better shooter with that Wenig stock.
Of course, yeah, the Grand's the great place to do it. Give them a call, get on their book. It's worth your time.
Just remember, winners shoot Wenigs.
With that being said,
Let's get back to the show.
So going back, you start figuring out how to get involved with the AIM program. Start at a lower level at your state, and then what made you decide? Okay, I want to move up and work more nationwide as an executive level. Like, how do you go from step one to step two?
You got to be a delegate first.
And why
Yeah.
would you? Well, I was wanting to know from him. I'm sure you know. He knows he knows everything, guys. I'm trying to learn, Ricky.
So the big thing for me was just, wanting to help grow the sport and try to contribute to, put in what I can to help further everything that's already been, the foundation that's been laid, and try to, get more
Just
people.
make it better.
Exactly.
You want to put your part in and make the sport grow.
That's right.
So when you do that, to go along, so we can help Zach here, okay?
I need to learn.
See,
This
this is
learning
why it's not
experience.
always good to be number one in your own class. But
I need to learn, people.
so, how many years do you have to be delegate to be in these?
You don't have. There's no rule as far as long.
Okay,
how
I
long
didn't
you
know
have
if there.
to be.
I didn't think there was.
The only real rule is to even be delegate, you have to be a life member,
Yes,
and that's
and be in good standing with the
$500
ATA
or whatever.
right.
Hey, and be in good standing with the ATA.
I'm still good.
Are we sure?
He's good.
Okay, all
I
right.
can vouch for him.
And I've got a life membership.
Yeah.
I'm check.
So you could be the Missouri delegate at some point.
I mean, potentially, but I don't know how I could fit that in with all the podcasts, all the shooting, and all the financial advising.
Yeah. Our lovely production manager, he's a delegate in Nevada.
Sometimes when John chimes in, I don't like what he has to say.
That
Just
is
add on another thing.
that is something we might add in. Is Zach Nannini is my financial advisor.
Hey.
I mean, he does a good job.
He does.
Even though he was top of his class. Didn't you know
Yeah,
that?
folks. See, even
That
he
was a shameless plug, and I didn't even have to pay you. You get a discount.
You're getting a 0.25% back.
We're going back, baby. You get dinner tonight. So EC level, is that something you have to get voted into? Or, I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, so every 5 years in your zone, your Western zone, in my case, vice president, goes through, and then after he is the president, or the year that he is the president, you elect a new vice president to succeed that person.
Okay.
So, and that's elected by the delegates in your zone.
Okay.
So, in my case, this year,
It was
last year at the
Ed
Grand
Winking
American.
was the past Western zone.
Yep, Ed Waking was president last year. So at the Grand American last year, I was elected Western Zone VP.
And that is the delegate, so it's like John is the delegate in Nevada, so he gets a vote. It's
That's
just the
right.
So the
delegates
delegates
only.
vote
Correct,
on
delegates
who
Yeah.
gets to be the position. So did you run opposed or did you run unopposed?
No, I did run opposed. The Alberta representative delegate, Jim Thompson, ran against me.
Okay.
So I don't know, Jim, but it sounds like you won, which means president win. Like, how long does it take for you to be the president of the ATA?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Yep.
So you sit in your seat for 5 years, and it comes around, and then boom.
That's right.
And then once you've done that, you go ex officio,
Yep.
right?
Yep, which that's Ed this year.
And then are you off the thing entirely after that?
You can sit on some. You are off the EC, but you're always a past president, which
Yep.
is part of the EC continuing, and then you've got some committees that you stay on for a period of time.
So
Yeah.
only
Oh,
the
wow.
only the
Oversee
EC and the delegates get to vote on things, though, right? Or is the voting the delegates and the EC just the people presenting? I mean, how does that?
So at the annual meeting back at Sparta, all the delegates will attend, and there'll be things that each in their state they'll talk to their shooters and members of the association. And then the delegate represents that association, and there'll be things that the delegates need to vote on, such as rules. So
Okay.
the rules committee will come up with, new rules throughout the year, or not, but there's not really much going on at the moment. But you'll vote on those things back there in Sparta at the annual meeting, and that's the count of the total delegates,
Okay.
I see.
which is all 50 states, and then you got a few countries involved as well. Australia,
Well, yeah,
New
with
Zealand.
Australia now we got Brazil's involved.
Brazil.
Do they have one?
Brazil does have one, and Australia and New Zealand definitely do. They're very active. Australia's here.
Yeah.
New Zealand normally is.
They're in.
Yep.
We need to take some trips to some of these other countries that shoot ATA.
We
Honestly,
need more sponsors, folks. It's going to take money to get Trap Talk in New Zealand.
I was this close to going to Brazil this year, but I didn't have enough notice to get. You got to get a bunch of shots to go to Brazil.
Oh yeah. You have to. Because I was going to go several years ago to do some lessons down there, and there was a. There was like
A checklist. You gotta do.
it was a big change. It's like, man, I thought I was going on a big
Yellow
lung trip.
fever, malaria.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that
And
which-
dengue fever, you can't even get a shot for that. I've had that. That's horrible, by the way.
really?
Yeah, you don't want that.
All right, folks, we got to take another quick break and thank some more sponsors. We've got Game Masters. Ricky, you're our guy over there, right?
Yep, I sell every gun you can imagine. We've got a ton of Krieghoffs, every other brand available. So if you guys need something, let us know. We can hook you up with the shoots. We got vendor buildings in Arizona, Ohio, and then Sparta at the Grand American.
Yeah, I do like sucking up that free AC in Sparta, that's for sure. I mean, it's a good time. Come by and say hi to us.
That's right.
Also, Shot Tracker. I mean, we've had great success with them. Ricky, you've been involved since day one, so
It's like having a coacher on the end of your barrel. It's a great tool, especially for doubles. That's what I really like it for. You can see the transition moving from the first target to the second target. That's where a lot of people get lost in no man's land. losing that target.
I love that, and I also love the new software update, the stuff that's coming down the pipe. Those guys are constantly innovating. So, with that being said,
let's get back to the show.
So you just first year as vice president. So you got like big changes, big things going on. I know you guys just had your meeting down here.
Yes, yep.
So anything good that you can discuss?
No real big changes, but the biggest thing that it's really good for the ATA is we Lynn Gibson was able to get the new lease signed with the IDNR through 2036. So that's a big deal.
Extra 10 years.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Because I know we were running out of the lease in 2026, right?
Yep, 2026.
Because it
was our
started
last.
in 2006 and it was a 20-year lease.
Well, it was a 15-year, wasn't it? And then they signed a 5, or I honestly I don't remember. There was something
and
in there.
technically, it's not a new lease. It's all of them are extensions.
Extensions.
It's still
Because I
the
think-
original lease with extensions.
Extensions, because I think, Zach, the first one was a 15-year maybe, and then they extended 5 to 2026. A while, and then now this, which is good because listen, I love shooting at Sparta. I mean, I know we all love shooting in Vandalia. Some of our listeners that remember Vandalia, it was a great. We just kind of outgrew it.
It's a great thing, but what can you do, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, you were there just for.
I went once.
The
end of the era.
Well, just think about the cost of building a new facility. That one's there. We need to renew that lease.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have the Trap Shooting Hall of Fame there, which that's why we're in this lovely conference room. Is Bill Martin's.
He donated all that money for the Hall of Fame.
Bill donated $1 million for it, him and his wife Leanne, which they're here. We're trying to get them on the podcast to talk about everything they've done for trap shooting, which I think would be a great episode also.
Tremendous amount.
Yeah, and that's part of the, so as you, like that, when he could be on the Hall of Fame committees and stuff like that.
There's
as you
other
get out.
subcommittees
Absolutely.
after you become ex officio.
Yes.
To come off, and now you're not voting anymore as ex officio, though, right? You're
That's
just kind of
correct.
council.
Yeah,
right?
zero voting.
Zero
That's
voting,
right.
but you
Even
come
your-
in and help, and
Even your first year out as an ex officio, you don't
No
have a
vote.
vote.
That's right. Just
So,
advice.
so
Sit
you
in
got
on meetings.
So I know the
advise.
lease was signed prior to all this, and stuff out there, but that's a big deal. Now, anything else that's going on that's good, like
It's pretty quiet. We've had almost zero complaints. There was, right out of the gate, there was a couple of complaints in January. They were pretty minimal and taken care of and done. But it's been really quiet this year,
I mean,
which is good.
Sometimes no news is good news. I guess thinking forward, we're always trying to grow the sport. We're always trying to do things in a better way, get more people interested in trap shooting.
Hey,
More.
That's why we decided to do this podcast.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've gotten a lot of phone calls lately from a lot of people out there that said, hey, I love listening to the podcast. I'm pumped to go shooting, and I haven't shot in 5 years. Or I had a couple guys 10 years, 15 years, 20, and it's great. And that's why we're
That's
wanting
the
to
point.
just
We want to educate people on what the big dogs are doing, keep people informed on what's going on in the industry, and get people excited about it. Because unfortunately, if you live in Missouri or Nebraska, you're not always getting to shoot every month of the year.
That is
now,
true.
when I was in California, I was wearing the barrels out, right?
Yeah.
Because you were out there every day. You had that weather, and so you never really got away from it. But when you go away from it for 6 or 7 months, you start to realize, there's other things I could be doing, and so if you don't have that desire and that I miss it.
all right, guys, we got to take another quick break and thank some more sponsors. We got to say big thank you to White Flyer, America's best targets. You make them, we break them, right, Rick?
That's right. We got the new Eco flyer that we helped design, myself and Sean Hawley. That's out now, available out of the Georgia factory. That's an awesome target. Look for that. Going to be available hopefully everywhere by 2025. But yeah, they are best target in the industry.
I'm looking forward to the Blue-Gray Shootout this year at the Grand, too. That's going to be a fun event.
Yeah, you're in that too this year, aren't you, Zach?
We both are, aren't we?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm in it. I didn't know if you made it or not.
See, yeah, that's okay. I skated right in there. Don't you worry. But, we got another sponsor we got to thank.
Yep.
Shotguns West, the Pillas, baby. Check out these wings. Ricky don't got these. He ain't that stylish.
Folks, listen, Zach tries to wear these driving down the road, doing podcasts. It's okay. We still love
Hey,
it.
when you look good, you don't have to apologize. Remember that. Not only can you hit more targets, but you can look good doing it. Give Ryan a call.
That's right.
With that being said,
Let's get back to the show.
Well, and that's one of the biggest things I'd say when you ask that, big things going on. There's a lot of youth organizations, and one of the things I hear from parents and even kids as they go through these youth organizations that aren't affiliated with the ATA, some of them don't even know the ATA exists.
And that's sad.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they ask, how do I continue to shoot? Well, join the ATA. So I mean, to all the people listening to podcasts, if you know youth organizations,
if you want to
try to introduce kids
trap
to
targets,
AIM,
join the ATA.
Absolutely.
Come to a shoot, find a local shoot, try that out, and if you want to get a little bit deeper, go to a big shoot.
Well, here's the deal. Doesn't the ATA, correct me if I'm wrong, they will give away a free membership. Like each gun club has like 5 or so.
They do get 5 every year.
5
but
every year.
There's no limit. If you have a multitude of shooters that haven't been ATA
Members.
shooters, if you're a first-time ATA member, it's free.
Is that any age or just youths?
That's any age.
So, and I think.
What are you gonna do? Come up with a new name?
You didn't restart your average.
This is
Here's my shot at the ring. 19-yard line. Here I come, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll wear a mustache.
Who's that? Oh, I don't know. Skeet shooter.
Oh boy, you're gonna be Russian instead of Italian.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. But so, and that's the great thing. I know, I'm a member of all the actually a life member of all the associations, skeet and sporting and the ATA. And it is a nice thing when I've been to some ATA shoots, I've seen that like a new shooter come in and the club's like, oh yeah. And that's one of the things I think we need to promote a little better.
Yeah, because
like, hey,
I don't
come
think people know.
shoot and we'll give you a free 1-year membership.
Absolutely.
The problem is the gun clubs a lot of times they're overwhelmed, they're understaffed, they don't have good marketing. I think the biggest thing right now with anything when you're dealing with old association, we've been shooting trap the same way for the last 100 years, right? So I mean, marketing and letting the people know, hey, we're doing this and this is what's happening. I got to give a shout out to John. I mean, with what he did with Nevada, I mean, it was innovative. I mean, I definitely couldn't open up my Facebook without seeing another post about John talking about buckles.
I know.
I mean, that was something I had to deal with. Like, I'm sitting there trying to relax in the morning, and here's John again. But at the end of the day, when that shoot came out and I wasn't able to be there, I was like, man, I wish I wanted to be there, and
you wouldn't come.
Next time.
I was there, and I got to say that was one of the best trophy packages I've seen.
I'm telling you, honestly, for everybody at Molly's. Belt buckles. I think you should hire John, cut him a deal.
The Molly stuff. I really
just saying.
I'm a big fan of it. I think we get so, I guess, comfortable with the same stuff. You start saying, hey, we do this, this, and this, and then every year we kind of just auto order. Like these state shoots are overwhelmed. I'm a part of the MTA, and it's hard to say, hey, we're going to take the time and we're going to investigate what other things we want to have, what other trophies we want to have, where do we want to spend the money.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that is one of the things that we changed this year. The states for the ATA are allowed to change and pick their own trophy package now.
That's going for the 2025 season,
No,
correct?
it's this year.
Is it this year? Okay.
Right.
That's great news.
And I think we have 7 states that chose to pick different trophies than what the
standardizing, which is good because it is not. I mean, listen, I've been fortunate. I know Zach has. I know Ryan. You've won some stuff, and we're all fortunate to win stuff. And sometimes you win the same. So what do you do? You throw it in the box. But like, I made a shadow box out of all my belt buckles that I won at Nevada. And
I didn't make a shadow box out of all my buckles I won for the year. But Ricky, he gets a shadow box for 1 week.
I love my Italian buddy.
1 week of shooting. Not like that.
I did have a good Nevada State shoot.
Didn't you have to buy a new safe for the cash that you won at Nevada?
May or may not have.
He had to have bodyguards walking around.
It was just the everything was just cool. And like we discussed there in Nevada, I went with John and showed stuff, but the buckles, and that's something I think the ATA I know does for Satellite Grand, because I won the doubles down here, and I won the doubles all around in the handicap and overall, but I got like 2 or 3 buckles here for that. But they're just cool. It's something different. You can wear them, or you can display them. I like to display them.
Now, there'll be a time where after we've got 150 of those, then we'll probably go to the next thing. I think it's everything has its stage, right? The bags were really cool. Like
Can you increase that number? So I just had to do it too. Just
I don't know if I'll even get there, but
here's the deal, Zach. You and I, we aren't built to be wearing them buckles.
I don't have a buckle.
I'm a little worse than Zach.
We
but
got to
I'm
work
trying.
on our buckle bodies.
We're trying to work on the old buckle
The
fit.
buckle bodies, folks. We're working on it.
I've been having to wear a buckle lately. I've been trimming down.
You're
a bit.
looking good.
My
Yeah.
problem is I just don't win any damn buckles.
Well, you know.
Hey, I've seen you run some
So
others.
that's a cool deal with the AT. I mean, that's some big news, allowing to do, versus doing the standardized package and stuff.
Now, even though you changed that rule, you said only 7 states so far have stepped up and
Well,
jumped on it. I mean, did they all know? I mean,
Oh, they definitely know. I mean, they all got an email, and we had a lot of states that really wanted to do it. But the bottom line is, it's like you brought it up earlier. You got a lot of volunteers and overworked, and then when it really comes to fruition and it's a reality, it's a lot of work to go back and
It really
the
is,
ATA
folks.
can just send you a package, or you can go through and pick your stuff.
It's a lot of
That's more
work.
And I know, like years ago at Nebraska State Shoot, you know, one of my good buddies, Tom Buxman, you knew Tom.
Yeah.
His wife Marge did the trophies one year, and I remember how overwhelmed she was just getting it. Like, oh, you try. So yeah, I can understand.
It's a lot, and it's a thankless job. If you guys got association, EC directors, whatever, you know, people that run the state shoot, thank them, because I
Absolutely.
can tell you, it might not be what you want it to be, but if you're not stepping up and taking that unpaid position and putting in your time and going to those meetings every month or every other month.
I thought you got shells from Missouri or something.
No shells. Ricky's always trying to. He's always trying to.
I always know that Italian and Zach, folks. No, but no, we
got-
appreciate you even stepping up for Missouri,
Well,
helping out.
it's just one of those
You
things
know.
where I think people will always say, well, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? Or why don't you do this? But they don't ever say, how can I help?
Right.
And if you guys want to really help, step up. You stepped up. You did what you needed to do, and you're doing it now and making some changes. So I think that's good. And shaking it up with some new ideas is never a bad thing. It's never a bad thing.
All right, Trap Talk listeners, let's take a couple seconds and thank a couple more sponsors. First of all, Remington's been with us since day one. I've been shooting these shells since 2007. I shoot the Nitro 27 from the 27-yard line, ounce and eighth, 7.5, and STS ounce and eighth, eighths for singles and doubles. They've worked great for me, as they do a lot of top shooters all around the country. Give them a try. Don't forget the gun club line when you're practicing and you're wanting to save a little bit of money.
We'd also like to thank another sponsor, Outlaw Engineering. Randy Freston, R2. I've known Randy since 1988. They do engineering, surveying, drafting, GIS, civil, structural, land development, wetland permitting. They do it all.
And they're friends of trap shooters. I mean, they're a trap shooting family. They've been in the ATA forever. His dad's been involved. They're involved. They're a beautiful family. They're great people. And we just love that they listen to the show, and we love that they support Trap Talk.
Yeah, his dad was past president in 1989. So I really want to thank those guys for the support. I really appreciate it here at Trap
With
Talk.
that being said,
Let's get back to the show.
But you know, the AIM program with the ATA is great. I mean, listen, all the youth programs are great.
They
deals.
are all great.
We just gotta let's all come together, and we're here for the same reason.
It's gotta
And that
be
is
some
we want to have
unification.
fun
And just-
we want to shoot. Gun safety, gun safety number one. I've seen. I've been to a lot of youth events. I teach a lot of youth stuff, group clinics, one-on-ones, all that. And gun safety is the number one important thing.
You gotta have it.
Number one,
Absolutely.
safety. Number two, fun. And
Yep.
then
And everything
we go.
else just comes with it. I mean, we didn't have such a great day today, but I mean, it is what it is. There's always tomorrow.
You just let it go and you move on.
That's right.
Did you guys have fun today?
Oh, absolutely.
And did you kill anybody?
Not yet.
Well, there we go.
Not yet.
We might have to edit that out.
I say we leave it in, folks.
No, but yeah, I know.
So
You are Italian.
I am Italian.
Somebody that's drunk.
So is there anything else that you want to share with the listeners, ATA related?
Absolutely. So we already talked about it, but educate those youth on
Yep.
there is life and shooting after the youth program, and that's the ATA. And number two, just buy a subscription to Trap and Field. We got, it's a lot of great information. That's a good magazine. It tells you where all the shoots are for the year. it's good to support the ATA through Trap and Field as well.
Now, does Trap and Field do a digital version? Like, can you get it?
You can get both digital and hard copy.
So you can get either one, whatever works out better for you. Because I know a lot of people are switching to kind of the digital stuff. I mean, I'm reading a lot of stuff on my tablet.
Especially your youth. That's what they're not gonna get the.
I like the magazine for if I ever were to make a cover. Then I
You've
keep
been
that
on the cover.
I've seen you on the cover, yeah,
a couple times
in that shirt,
but
yeah.
not as many times as this guy over here. I can't get a Trap and Field without Ricky on the front. I start ripping the covers off.
It was like 4 in a row. It was cool. It was like, is this the same
photo?
picture?
I give him a layup and he dunks. I'm Scottie Pippen over here. This is Jordan. He's like, they never thank Pippen, but
Pippen's always saying.
You're more Dennis Rodman.
I ain't got the hair for that.
No, but he does have the lingo.
That's a Southern Italian in me.
Okay, so with the ATA, now we did talk a little bit about hunting. Let's go there. Because you're big into hunting, fishing, guide service. So what does that entail?
Well, it entails a lot of hard work.
I know. I've seen. Listen, we're friends on Facebook, of course. So you're always posting with your boys and everyone. I'm like, he climbed up what?
Yeah, but I mean, we do it all. We guide for moose, caribou, brown bear, black bear, sheep, goat, anything you want.
All in
Alaska.
Okay.
Yep. And we're full service guide service. You go up and do combo hunts or individual animals.
Flying. Who does your flying?
So we do a lot. It depends on the product.
area?
Yep.
Or what?
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll do moose way up north by McGrath, moose and grizzly bear.
Okay.
And then down by Lake Iliamna, we do strictly brown bear, that's a really fun hunt. Those, big bears, 10, 11-foot bears, big.
It's like big old brown thing chasing me out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
When you
And then,
are you flying into those on like little planes?
It's all flying.
All flying.
All
Okay.
flying. Yeah, everything is super remote. And
Out
then
in the
on
middle of nowhere.
right.
Hey, Trop Talk listeners, let's take a quick second to thank a couple more amazing sponsors. SOS Clay's Shoot Management. They're doing a fantastic job. I love the app. I love being able to see everything on my phone instantaneously. It's freaking awesome. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, Greg Pink and his group over there. They've got majority of the satellite grands, majority of the state shoots. I think it's 40 plus state shoots they're doing. But the app, honestly, we were doing a little beta testing with that at the Spring Grand. It's awesome. You can see your squad if they paid. You can see your options, your payouts. The whole works at your fingertips. Great deal. They're just
Ricky
killing
knew how
it
much
over
money he made before he even got off the line. He was like, hey, I'm buying lunch. I'm like, yeah, good job. We're good to go.
That's
We
right.
also got gun and trophy insurance. They're the best in the business. I know they're great price. Ricky, you're familiar with them, right?
Yeah, Cole and Larry Cushman been long-time supporters of myself, and I've been a supporter of them, and especially with my college team. We require insurance. It's so fast and easy to sign up and get your insurance in literally 10 minutes. You can have your guns insured, and they're just great. They're great to deal with. Like I said, you can do your trophies also, your wildlife animals and that such, and your guns. It's just a great
It's
product.
always good when you're
Great
traveling
product.
around to have that peace of mind and know that you don't have to worry about losing your stuff forever. And these are expensive things, especially when you got those Krieghoffs. You got to keep them insured. So
Exactly.
with that being said,
let's get back to the show.
And then on the fishing side, with Ptarmigan involved, which I took Winchester's Bill Daniels up this year, him and a buddy and some other colleagues and my kids. And we did a ptarmigan hunt that was off the hook with
What's a ptarmigan?
with Talon Air Service. So a ptarmigan is a small, just a little bit smaller than a grouse. It's and they're just they're north.
Little bird, you just grease them.
Totally.
They're not easy to kill though, correct?
No, they're tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're tough little
Hit
bastards.
them with like what?
Are they taste pretty good or?
Best birds I've ever eaten.
Really?
Yeah,
We
they're
need some
great.
ptarmigans.
We're gonna eat a buffet. With a little bird. What do you got?
What happened to ptarmigan? Oh, they're extinct. Me and Ricky went up there.
Chicken in the bush. So do you hunt it when it's really cold, a lot of snow on the ground?
I
or-
tend to hunt them when the season's open. So that's kind of the rule of thumb I use. But
Season.
Well,
Season?
what is the season?
season opens be June 1st.
Oh, so
No, July 1st. Sorry,
July 1st. Yeah.
For a long time or no?
Yeah, it runs about 4 months. But
Okay.
Okay.
we go on the front end, and one thing you do want to be careful of, which is pretty good for guys like us that shoot a lot. You identify your target first, because there's a lot of chicks at that time that are small, and
You don't want
a
to
limit's a limit, and you can grease a bunch of small little newbies when you just let them fly and pick out the big
Pick
ones.
out the big ones. They like shooting quail when people, they get and just they drop 20.
We need meat on our
Yeah,
targets.
nothing.
Yeah.
So you guide pretty much everything, and this is a business, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so anybody, we can put your information on our show, and they can get a hold of you
Oh,
and actually
absolutely.
book a guide. Now, are you offering like lodging, food, like all that kind of stuff? Is it like an all-inclusive package? Is it different levels?
It is
pretty
all
much-
different levels, and it depends on where you're going and what you're doing. But the stuff we do with Talon Air Service down on the Kenai, I mean, that's
Which is Alan Helfer.
That's correct.
Which is a trap shooter, and I've known Alan and his lovely wife and his daughter since I was young.
Yeah.
And stuff. So yeah, Alan,
But
I know.
that is as full service as it gets.
Yeah.
$1 million lodge, $1 million airplanes. I mean, you hop in these planes,
That's what
they'll
we need.
take you out, drop you off, put you in a boat with a guide, catch fish all day long. They'll cook the fish for you.
Sign
you
us
come
up.
back.
That's where. See,
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
little bit of a.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled. I've been to some nice places hunting wise, Don Bud's place, and some stuff like that. It's just like once you've gone and you've experienced that, it's like it's hard to pitch the tent.
No, you'll never pitch a tent again.
It's hard to pitch the
Never.
tent, Rick. I'm
Never.
just telling you. I like that nice shower in the morning before we go out, but
Yeah, he's that typical, walk out and from a suit and
I didn't get my calluses working. We're shooting.
we talked about this.
We already did that last episode, so I'll just.
Well, don't you run a pencil or something?
Yeah, I mean, I got a sharpener. I mean,
This is Zach.
top of my
Oh, stock market's doing good.
top of my class. So, I think we've spoke on the ATA. We've spoke on your hunting, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'd like to get up there and do that. Maybe
Absolutely.
Anytime you guys want to go, I'll hook you up.
We'll have to-
It'll
yeah.
be expensive, but I'll hook you up.
Team Nanini covers it. Sorry, Beth.
It's going to cost a little, but I do want to talk about these wonderful new Pillas that you got now that I've been so thankful to model. I did a couple of videos of me and my new gold frames.
You look good.
I mean, Ricky
You
says.
know what? Here's the
Ricky
thing I
says,
said. You don't wear orange lenses driving down the road.
You know what? I'm telling you right now. I'm thinking these are my new driving glasses. Anybody who wants Pillas for driving, you get those sporty looks. You're going down the road, looking good.
He
I was
does
getting
the video, and of course he's got brand new shirt that he just had pressed that never hunted in it. I think the tag was still
a Krieghoff shirt. I was. He gets a message. He says, "What the heck are you doing?" I said, "Don't be jealous."
All right, folks, let's take a quick second and thank some brand new incoming sponsors of the show. These are personal friends of mine, fellow clay shooters, and lovers of the outdoors, Rick and Carla Burke at 73 Pointers Ranch. Rick, tell them what we're doing.
Well, we're doing a giveaway at the Grand American. So they've graciously donated a one-person hunt for, I think it's, 18 quail or 12 chucker or 8 pheasants. Your choice, guide and dog. We've got dinner, overnight, lodging, breakfast. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great giveaway.
It's a great thing. It's valued at like $1,500. You can obviously bring a guest if you'd like, but it's about an hour out of St. Louis Airport. And if you're lucky, maybe me and Rick will go out there with you and do some bird hunting, because this is an awesome place. It's a great time. And if you're local to this area, it's not that far out of the city. So you can be in the office and then be hunting in the afternoon. So they're great, great people, and they love this show. So we really, really appreciate the love and support.
Yeah, we'd like to thank Rick and Carla. We really appreciate that.
Also, we've got Mid-State Precious Metals, Ron Prescott. He's a great guy for all your gold and silver needs. Ricky, tell him about our friend.
Yeah, Ron, he graciously donated a 10-ounce silver bar to our live in-person podcast in Tucson. And, he has everything. I bought a bunch of silver from him. We got our silver and gold for the fun day at the Nevada State Shoot on Monday this year. John got all the silver and gold for the Nevada State Shoot. So look him up for your silver and gold needs. He'll give you the best price out there.
He really is, and he's a friend of the trap shooters. I mean, he's looking to get gold and silver to these gun clubs for their shoots at the lowest price across the country. He's doing them a service and helping grow the sport. So, thank you so much for that, Ron.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. We appreciate it.
With that being said,
Let's get to the show.
So tell us about because I know it's something that's exclusive to Shotguns West, correct? Those
That's right.
frames.
Yep.
So tell me about the frames and tell me what you do, what you have with all these Pilla lines.
So what we wanted to do with the frames specifically is we've been selling Pillas for 8-9 years, and they the traditional carbon frame with the hooks irritates a lot of people's ears.
Deluxe,
They
that's
don't
it.
they don't like the way they fit. So we got together with Pilla and said we want to come up with a comfortable, sleek, good-looking frame. And so we sat down and went to the drawing board and came up with something that was going to be, fit snug, because the whole purpose behind the hooks was to hold it on.
Yep.
But they're just uncomfortable. So we wanted something that would serve all purposes. And this new Stealth Wave frame will stay on and it's comfortable. And they come in both rubber temple and acetate temple, which is the hard plastic.
That's what I got. The
You
acetate.
got the gold
That
bling
gold,
acetate
that
temples.
bling bling. If you
Yep.
want to be styling and
This is a
profiling,
bling bling panini.
I mean, if it wasn't already taken, I'd be calling you the Italian stallion.
I mean,
because you look good.
I love them, and they feel really comfortable in my head. I could say they're the most comfortable set of glasses that I've ever had on, and I wasn't a big fan of the double hooks. Now I did wear them, but I could feel that at the end of the day they kind of dog in there, and these ones.
Well, and I think a lot of people did it because the thing about Pilla is that the concept of the Pilla glasses and the thought process behind them is the lenses they're the best lenses on the market. So the temples being uncomfortable was it was kind of an afterthought,
Like, oh, these hurt, but they're great, so I'm gonna use them.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about the vision and seeing the target,
Yep,
right?
it is.
So everybody was getting that initial target
The
pop
hook, yeah,
and seeing
the pop.
everything they needed, and then as everybody gets into it, it gravitates toward, well, can we do this and still be comfortable now?
Yeah, so you actually called them and designed that. I mean, that was so you call it the Stealth Wing.
Yeah,
Stealth Wing.
Stealth Wing, and you can get them for any size.
Correct. They come for the X6s and the X7s,
Okay.
but there's not one to fit the Panther. It's only the Outlaw series.
So what's
Just
the
the
difference
Outlaws.
between a 6 and a 7? Because I don't know.
So the difference between an Outlaw 6 and an Outlaw 7 is the curvature of the lens.
Base curve.
Yep. The lens on an Outlaw 6 is wider and flatter,
Yep.
and fits a
Wider
fatter
head.
head. Yeah.
For
I
you,
can't-
he's a 7.
Yeah, I'm a.
Might even be an 8.
I'm a
So-
I'm an 8.
So there's more curvature in a 7.
Correct. No, other way around.
More curvature.
It's curved in a.
It's flatter in a
7.
6.
Yeah,
flatter in a 6, more curved in a 7, right? It-
7 has more curve.
because it's coming in this way, right?
Yeah,
I almost
right.
flipped it in my mind, but yeah. So the higher the
You
number,
flipped it in my mind.
sometimes I do that. I got that Jedi trick. So smaller people, youths, female shooters, people with skinny heads that don't
Yeah.
use much beef
Right,
products.
people like me.
Then they would go with the 7s
Sevens,
versus the 6s for
Yep.
your whiskey drinkers, your lovers of the sport.
And what a lot of people do too, if you're just on the cusp and you're a family of shooters, we'll get maybe a little bit tighter on dad and a little bit loose on the kids, but then they can all interchange.
Share
lenses.
lenses. Because you could get, a frame and then as many lenses, and you work on that frame.
So,
That's right.
speaking of that, how many different lenses do you carry?
We carry over 50 different lenses.
Holy crap! I only got 5. I need
That's
to
all
call-
you have?
I need to call and get some more.
You should come.
I need to go pick and
browse and check stuff out for sure.
Yeah, that's
Ron's just trying to sell some more.
Hey, there's a guy that he's out of Nevada. He might even be the producer of some show that we're on right now.
I bet he has more than 5.
He has.
I don't know.
He has more lenses than are out there.
See, the only problem I see when I get over 10 is like then I've got to spend an extra 15 minutes at the trap doing this. Like I look like one of those little.
You look like half the people out there.
You're going up like boop 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 boop, and I'm like, okay, people, like there's only you find what you like. Like I think you go through and look at all the different lenses, and then you find your ones you use. Now there's got to be certain ones for certain days that are going to work better. Your special days and to have that perfect lens.
Well, and when you get days like today where the clouds are rolling through, you're wearing some, and then you've got the next set up here on another set of frames, and you just swap them out.
That's really styling. I ain't made it to that point yet.
You will.
He hasn't went the bling 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 yet.
I can't afford that. That's a lot.
Times is tough.
Times is tough.
Well, we are a sponsor of Trap
Trap
Talk.
Talk.
We might be able to work on something.
We'll talk off the record. but yeah, I mean, it's very comfortable. I will say they are, say it again, the most comfortable set of frames I've ever had, because even the ones with the hooks around the ears that I've had before, I mean, I like that because they do hold, but at the end of the day, like that little back of my ear like hurts a little bit sometimes, and it's like, so.
All right, Trap Talk listeners, got to take a few more seconds for some shameless plugs. This time, we're plugging Trap Talk. We got the hats on.
right.
Ricky, why are you wearing the same hat as me? It's going all gray. We got hats. We still got some available, right, Rick?
Yeah, we got multiple hats available. We got a big order of hats coming out too. You can get them on the website. John will put the link either up here or down here. Not sure, that's
Somewhere.
up to John. So I gave him both.
Yeah, you never know where he's going to put them. That being said, we love you guys wearing the hats at Trap Shoots. It really shows the support. It shows the love. Take pictures. Tag us on Instagram. Tag us on Facebook. Send us messages of you guys wearing the hats. Wear them proud. And we got a big reveal coming for the Grand. I think you guys are really going to like it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a place for you to maybe get some merchandise. So more details to come. With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
Is there anything new coming down the pipeline from Pilla that's in addition to this, or is there anything that we should be looking for in the next 12 to 24 months?
Definitely be looking, because Pilla is always coming out with new stuff, and you never know if it's going to be good until you try it. And we bring it in, and one of the things that we do in our store is if you come in at a big shoot or any event we're at, we'll let you take those lenses out and see how they work for you. You can go shoot an event with them, bring them back, see if they're working, and that's how we recommend trying the new stuff, because you really don't know. You can read about it, whatever, but everybody's eyes are different.
That's the thing. It's so hard for me when I've done any new lenses to say, okay, I'm going to look at a catalog, or I'm going to look online, I'm going to pick a color that's going to show up, and I'm like, I've always loved getting to the shoots, and you go out there and you go bing, bang, 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 bang with 30 of them until you find the one that really sits with your eyes. And everyone's eyes are different. I mean, everyone perceives light differently. Everyone sees color a little bit differently. So I think it's important that you have different stuff for different people.
And that's one of the biggest questions I get is, what would you use, today? And it's like, well, this is what I would use, but, my eyes may not be the same as yours.
Absolutely.
You just need
Everybody's eyes are, like all the clinics I teach, a lot of people ask me what color that I shoot, for prescription lenses. Like, well, I like the bronze for this and the pink rose for that, and blah, blah. And they're like, whoa, what color are your eyes? Well, yeah, maybe. I said, you gotta go try it.
Got it.
Because everybody sees things differently.
Well, yeah, and like a very, 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 very long time ago, this was 15 years ago, I was, with Post 4, with Mike Reinhardt. He passed away. He was our good friend.
Absolutely
and,
was.
Mike did Post 4, and they're out of business now. So, that being said, he taught me, like, if you have people with darker eyes, they're usually going to be less light sensitive. You have people with lighter eyes, they're going to be more light sensitive. You see people with blue eyes, they're going to need darker color tones to protect themselves from the sun. Us Italians with these dark brown eyes, we can take a little bit more sunlight. It's not going to be a bother for us, Rick. But I mean, you've got lighter eyes than me. You're like a little hazel, aren't you? You got something a little going on.
No, mine's brown. His is black.
You guys are both so full of shit. Your eyes are brown.
Mine are truly brown. Zach's but no. And Mike Reiner, speaking to him real quick, he's one at this club made me a set of bronze lenses because I used to always wear a light target orange.
Yep.
Because it didn't bother me, as you just said. But he said, try these. And ever since then, I mean,
when you have the right thing, the right equipment in anything, whether it's a stock, whether it's a gun, whether it's the glasses, I think getting the right equipment, putting that behind you, and then focusing on the game.
Right.
That's the next step.
Yep.
And it's hard to focus on the game when you're like, is what I got the right thing? I mean, now if you're just starting, then get started, right? At whatever level you can. But as you get more serious and as you start to evolve, you start getting the things that you think are going to work a little bit better and go from there. But, this has been a great episode. We've went kind of three different directions.
Absolutely.
We went bang, bang, bang.
We went to your personal business stuff, and then into the other business with Pillas, because he's the sponsor of the show with the Pillas.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to get some Pillas from Shotgun West, call Ryan. Call any of your stores. Right.
Call me. Call Grayson.
Yep.
Shotgunswest.com is a really good place to get them. We can we'll ship them right out next day to you. So,
With that being said, is there anything that you would like to share with the listeners before we get out of here?
I think we pretty well covered it. But I mean, I would say definitely come check out our Pilla selection and test those lenses before you buy them. I mean, that we offer it. That's
a great thing, because a lot of people I see them, they're like, God, I don't know if I should buy this one, and that's what I'll see. Take it out, shoot it. Oh man, that worked. No, that didn't work. And you're like, phew, glad I didn't have to.
Yeah.
And that's why we take the big selection of the shoot, and that's why we have them.
But you do have a huge selection here. We'll show some video of the selection in the store. I think John might have already done that. He's usually on top of that before we are.
He's splicing things into the videos that we're not even seeing as we're talking. We can talk about how good it's going to be, and then it makes us look good. So here's a nice video right now. Hello, Trap Talk listeners. Zach Nannini here with my co-host Richard Marshall Jr. We're live at the Spring Grand. We're here with our good friend Grayson Stewart from Shotguns West, our official Pilla sponsor of the show, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Pillas and what you should be buying today. Rick, what do the people need?
Grayson, show us what you got. I know you guys got some new frames.
Yep.
That is exclusive with Shotguns West.
Absolutely. So this is our new Stealth Wing frame. It's been out since about November of 23. We do offer a bunch of different models and colors. So this particular model has the rubber grip, and inside has some tread pattern to stick close to your head. Like I said, we have a bunch of different colors and then different options. We have some wood accents that are more of an acetate color, and we have it in all the different sizes and everything too.
So that's a Top Gun frame, right?
Correct, yep.
So what's the difference between a Top Gun frame and these other frames that you've got over here?
So what you'll...
Outlaws, right?
They are, yep. So what you'll notice is the Top Gun, it has a little bit of ridge here, so it is a bigger lens. It also drops down, so you just get a little bit more color in your lens. Your eyes, they don't get cut out by any part that's not in the lens. And then the traditional Outlaw, which is just your standard size lens, which is a little bit smaller.
And you got some ventilation here too, right?
Correct, yeah.
So little vents in the Top Gun, a little bit bigger, so it's a little wider on the head.
It helps. Tyler, my son, shoots with the Top Gun.
Yep.
He likes that bigger, stops some of the wind from blowing in on him. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's wind, it reduces some fog and stuff, so pretty neat there.
So the difference between the X6 and the X7, what's that difference?
Absolutely. So we have the 6s here in my left hand and the 7s in my right, and what you'll notice by looking at the two, the 7s have a lot more curve to them. So
curve.
Exactly, yep. So the 7s are going to fit tighter for people with smaller faces, where the 6 is going to fit with people with bigger faces, wider heads,
like our heads.
like Ricky and Zach here.
That's because we got bigger brains.
That's right.
Absolutely. So that's really the only difference between the 6 and the 7.
So I see a ton of lenses here. Do you have any recommendations as far as like favorite orange lens, favorite green target lens? Like what would you do? Shoot off lens? Like if you could pick just a few.
So I mean, just a few. This is a newer lens. This is a CI PDF, so it's one of Pilla's newer progressive lenses. Stands for Chroma Shift Infrared Progressive Dragon Fruit. So it's a dragon fruit color, and the progressive on the bottom of the lens is more clear, and gradually as your eyes go higher, you get more filtration going to the target. So it's designed to really pop that orange. I would say that's my favorite orange lens. A night lens, I'm pretty stuck on the 68 CIHC right here. It offers the Chroma Shift, infrared, high contrast, orange boost, so definitely has a ton of key features. All of these lenses are the new ICE model, which is anti-fog, rain resistant, so definitely a nice feature. They offer a different nose piece.
How about green targets?
Green targets, so coming into the 30 CDC, this is a blue lens, so this is made to pop the green and dull the background, so for sporting clays and stuff. I know Rick shoots a lot of sporting clays, I do as well. So personally, I use this if there's any, discolored targets and stuff on the course.
Now, what would you recommend for Zach in driving? Because he likes to wear Pillas and drive.
Well,
is there a good lens?
I like to look good.
Well, considering that all of the Pilla sunglasses have the 10 CED, you might as well put them on.
Zach, not this orange color you were wearing on your little.
See, I've already got these gold frames, and I'm just thinking like if we throw that on there, like I'm styling, I'm looking good, rolling down in the King Ranch.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, this is
Grayson, we really appreciate you guys at Shotguns West being our
Absolutely.
official Pilla sponsor. We
Yep.
appreciate everything. Last night we did the live podcast.
We did.
Give away a couple Pillas.
Yep.
So we really appreciate that from you and Ryan Costanti.
for sure.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Awesome.
Swing into the store for some Pillas.
Give Grayson a call.
So, that being said, we're gonna get out of here. I know you got plans tonight. We appreciate your time.
Thank you guys. I really
Thanks,
appreciate
Ryan.
you
We
having
really
me on.
appreciate it. Absolutely. And we appreciate what you're doing for the sport. So
Keep it up. Keep us involved. We always love talking with ATA,
Yeah.
and we'd love to hear what's coming down the pipe and how we can grow the sport, because that's what
absolutely,
it's
that's
about.
what we're here for.
So,
Till next Friday.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And the Trap Talk podcast is brought to you in part by
RM Shooting Clinics. Have Ricky take your game to the next level. If you want to shoot hundreds, give Ricky a call today. Zach Nannini Financial. We believe in putting people first.